What is going on, everybody? Thammagotcha here. Welcome into another video. This time we're hopping into the Ultra League Premier Cup where we're bringing back Shadow Steelix. My gosh, was it ever a menace on the lead with the amount of dragon leads that I've seen? Mwah. Chef's kiss, it is beautiful. And Shadow Ampharos, one of the best save swaps in this cup. So let's hop into the matches here and check out Shadow Steelix, Shadow Ampharos, and Jellicent here. So hopping into the first matchup here, Goodra into the Steelix. A little bit of lag, but those are just frame drops, I guess, because the energy was getting brought back to us here. So they're gonna throw the Aqua Tail, which is super effective damage, but we have some super effective damage going back there. We are resisting the Dragon Breath, which makes this matchup so much better, and they decide to hop into an Ampharos of their own. So I'm gonna throw 5 more Dragon Tails and then go for the breaking swipe here. No debuff, 1 more Dragon Tail, and then trying to catch the Thunder Punch or whatever, brutal swing here, but they decide to full send the focus blast, and that just does an absurd amount of damage. They're gonna shield up my own brutal swing here, which is a little bit unfortunate losing switch like that, but I can shield once and farm all the way down with the Steelix and have a lot of loaded energy coming out of this matchup, because if they are coming in here with the Ampharos against the Steelix, they have to be weak against the Steelix. Going for the Earthquake here. Oh, that lands, doing completely massive damage, almost taking out that XL fish, which is going to be so freaking bulky, but not as bulky as the Steelix. We farmed down the Lantern. Let's see what they want to do here. They bring back in the Ampharos, get a parting brutal swing off, which isn't gonna knock us out, but it is gonna do quite a bit of damage. It was a little bit of unfortunate. I could have farmed down there and had a breaking swipe ready to go against this Goodra, but that's okay. Goodra is very, very low, where all I have to do is make it to 2 Shadow Balls. So I'm gonna go to the Shadow Ball bait here with the Surf. Does get the last shield, and really I could just probably go for a Surf and a Hex down play, considering one Power Whip isn't going to knock out the Jellicent. They decide to full send the Draco Meteor, still doesn't KO the bulky XL Jellicent, and Shadow Ball is gonna knock out the Goodra. That's gonna be a good game. Well played to my opponent there. So hopping into the next matchup here, Steelix into Dragalge. You love the lead here. So, unfortunately, my opponent is lagging. Doesn't even look like they're playing, so I am just going to farm this Dragalge all the way down. And that's a little bit unfortunate for my opponent, but we had the good lead. Let's see what they come into here. Kind of gauge how the game goes. And it's an Empoleon. We're going to full send the Earthquake. So even if they did safe swap the Empoleon, I would come into the Jellicent. Now, Jellicent is going to be resisting the Steel Wings. Drill Peck does not do a whole lot of damage, whereas Shadow Ball is going to hit them for a lot of damage back. So I think we would have won that game hands down, but Poliwrath lead, absolutely Garbosian. I'm gonna hop in here with the Ampharos. We have 2 great responses to the Poliwrath, but they decide to come into their own Ampharos after doing some nice chip damage here with the counters. They're going to shield up the first brutal swing, throwing the next brutal swing here on the CMP tie. I'm going to shield everything here. I do want to preserve switch advantage, although I don't think I'm going to be able to get it if they double shield, because they did that. They did a lot, about 6 counters before they swapped out, and that just might flip them this matchup here. So second brutal swing, gonna get shielded up. I'm gonna do 1 more volt switch and then another brutal swing. They are at their energy right now, so say if they shielded that, they could have flipped switch. So that very happy they decided not to flip switch advantage there, because in comes a Venusaur, and this matchup can get very dicey here, especially with a shield up, and they catch the brutal swing on the Poliwrath. That is absolutely brutal on my end. Brutal. They catch the brutal swing, which is brutal. My goodness, English. But anyways, gonna hop into the Jellicent. Everything that this Poliwrath is gonna throw is going to be resisted damage, so I'm gonna farm up as much energy as I can, making sure to throw on proper timing as well. 2 versus 3 turn fast move. So I'm going to throw on after 1, and I think it's 3 and 5. You want to throw your fast moves at for proper move timing. They're going to come back in with the Venusaur, throw the Frenzy Plant, left, right, good night, and we come back in with the Steelix. I'm going to gauge how much this Frenzy Plant does, and if we don't get the debuff, we're going to be having we are definitely gonna have to switch into the Ampharos if we do not get this debuff. So 50% chance debuff, no. Oh, so I'm gonna throw 2, wait a turn, hop into the Ampharos here. Ampharos is gonna be the damage sponge. Frenzy Plant knocks it out, and we're gonna come in, get to the breaking swipe here, and breaking swipe is gonna take care of that Venusaur. So without that catch, we definitely would have lost that game. Frenzy Plant would have knocked us out, and all they had to do was one Vine Whip to knock out the Ampharos. So we waited a turn because we have a 3 versus 2 turn fast move. So that one waited a turn so that they would throw the charge move when we swapped, because swap does take a turn. So I had to kind of wait a turn there as we were counting. But next opponent, Dragonite into Steelix, they hop into the Annihilate. We're gonna hop into our Jellicent, and unfortunately they call my Surf Bait, which is absolutely beautiful, brutal, and they don't throw the Shadow Ball, but they decide to let their Annihilate go all the way down, which is a little bit troublesome because now this Dragonite can just 2 shield farm all this Jellicent all the way down and have so much loaded energy coming out of this matchup that Steelix is going to be hit by a couple break or superpowers, and that is definitely going to knock out the Steelix there. So coming back in with the Steelix, what are we going to do here? I think we no shield the first one. Superpower is not enough to knock out. I'm going to no shield this one. I'm gonna leave it all up to Ampharos. From here, Ampharos can kind of just farm all the way down, but they have another Venusaur in the back, and this can get really dicey because all we have is resisted damage. I'm not able to swap because I did swap back into my Steelix here. A little bit of a misplay on my end there, but Dragonite would have got a massive farm down. Gonna shield up the Frenzy Plant. Can we get to a Brutal Swing and some? We wait a turn, catch the Frenzy Plant onto Jellicent there, do 2 more Volt Switches. This Brutal Swing is going to be enough to knock out the Venusaur. I honestly thought they had another shield. That's why I went for that catch play there, but just got a little bit too fancy with it. We probably should have won that game just going straight Brutal Swing, but it is what it is. Another Dragonite on the lead. They're going to hop into a Gliscor. Gliscor is a little bit of a core breaker for this team. It has Night Slash to hit Jellicent, Earthquake to hit both Ampharos and Steelix, but we get the attack full here. These Night Slashes are not going to do anything to Jellicent, non-stab Night Slash, but they decided to go for the they decided to go for the Earthquake there, which does more raw damage, but they would have gotten to like 4 Night Slashes by now and probably got my Jellicent a lot lower. I don't need my Jellicent, but I know an Earthquake is not going to KO, especially debuff, thanks to that breaking swipe. We get a full farm down. Gonna throw this Shadow Ball here at this Dragonite just to do maximum damage or grab a shield, and we are not going to get to a second move. The Dragonite did get a little bit of a farm down, but that's completely fine by me. I'm just gonna come in with the Steelix here, take whatever energy they want to throw. Actually, I think I'm gonna match shields at this point. Do want to keep my Steelix a little bit healthy. They do go for the superpower. In comes a Skarmory. We got the Ampharos for the Skarmory, and that's just an RPS game. Rock, paper, scissors. Unfortunate for my opponent there, but hey, it happens. It's Go Battle League, so it's going to be a beautiful 5-0 set there. I ended up going on an 8-game win streak with this team. A lot of fun to use. If you want to try it out for yourselves. Ampharos is going to be your safe swap for this team. Jellicent is great, or Ampharos could be a closer. It's completely up to you, but thank you all so very much for watching. If you are liking content, please hit that like button. Comment if you want to see anything in the future. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button because it is greatly appreciated. And we will see everybody in the next video. Bye-bye.